What's happening, everybody? Christian Pedersen. I'm joined in studio by David Ring, the one and only the artist formerly known as Canyonside Cages, now known as David Ring Player Development. Joining us on the Zoom, at least for now, is Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live. We might also have our intern Colton Toll making an appearance at some point today. It's been a little while since we've heard from Colton, but Bodie's joining us, as we said, from Scorebook Live. They are the official digital content partners of the entire state, but we only really care about Bodie because Bodie cares about us. He's got some basketball. He's got some baseball. We've got some game balls. We got dingers, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have walk-offs?
We got a couple walk-offs.
We also had some no-nos this week. A huge week in baseball here in the San Diego CIF section. Huge week in sports across all the sports in the San Diego CIF section. Shall we just dive straight into some game balls and start there with who we thought were some of the top performers from throughout the San Diego CIF section last week? Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live. You want to give us your first game ball?
Here, you guys start as I'm pulling them up. Sorry, I got a couple windows here.
Deal. While Bodie filibusters adequately, I will go ahead and turn it over to David Ring for his first game ball.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to hear how the atmosphere was at the game you went to yesterday, Bodie. LCC versus RB. I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I want to hear some details. I'll give Gabe Camacho. LCC had the huge hit against RB in the bottom of the sixth to break up the 1-1 tie. He's also got 3 wins as a pitcher. So, I mean, when Bodie gives you guys his top 10, you see the LCC is probably one of his top 5 teams, and rightfully so, to hand RB their first loss of the season. Pretty impressive that RB went this long without losing a game. I don't know, man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear. Bodie was front row. He's got some videos from it. Fire on both sides, back and forth, tight game.
Absolute fire. I'll go ahead and give my first game ball out to the Cathedral Catholic Dons basketball team, getting a buzzer beater winner against Mission Hills, 56-54. That's a huge win on the road at Mission Hills there for that team. Congratulations to the Dons. Bodie DeSilva, do you of all the myriad windows that you have open, do you have your top 10? Do you have game balls? What do you want to go with first?
Yeah, I'll go with the game ball, and then I can give you my top 10. The first game ball I will give from yesterday's game, La Jolla Country Day catcher, Jake Bold, 2 for 3 with a grand slam. Always love the grand slam, so I have to give him a shout out there.
Did you see the bat flip?
I did. That was
did the bat? Is it on yours? Is it on your social media? Or where is it at?
I posted it.
Okay, at David Ring 4 on Instagram.
So it's actually at David DR Player Development on Instagram now.
I apologize for that.
And that's Twitter.
This
David Ring 4 is Twitter.
David Ring 4 is Twitter, at DR Player Development on Instagram.
Yeah, Jakey knew he got it right after he hit it. Sent the bat flying in the air as he's running down the line. If you can visualize that, go to my Instagram for the full video. We'll
post it to our story, but Dave's Instagram, Dave and Bodie, low key for all the subtweeting and jockeying for local sports media about who does what the best. They just real silently turned into a baseball empire that between Bodie's text tweets and Dave's videos, I feel like you guys give amazing coverage that absolutely deserves a follow. I will give my next game ball out to Jazzy Anderson. Jazzy from the La Jolla Country Day girls basketball team, scoring her 1,000th career point in a win against Bishops. Always good to get a rivalry win. 1,000 points for any scorer is huge in the high school game. You always got to give some love out to girls basketball. Bodie DeSilva, let's finish off all the game balls, and then we'll move on to the top 10s real quick for people as a proper radio tease. The top 10s in about 2.5 minutes. Yeah, Bodie, your next game ball.
The next one I want to give to 2 coaches here, a little different than usual. But Jim Tomey from Francis Parker Basketball getting his 500th career win. And then down at East Lake, they getting Coach, who I'm blanking on his name right now, getting his 300th career win. So two big coaching accomplishments guys that have been there. And David Gallegos. I don't know why I was blanking there. Two big accomplishments for both them and programs that are always in it.
Yeah, big. That's a lot of wins, man. When I was in high school, my coach had that many losses. I was like waiting for him to get that many wins, but he already had 300 losses.
Dave Ring, your next game ball.
All right, I'm gonna do a special game ball today. I'm gonna venture over into the softball side because I got a few girls that I really want to give some love to. Jules Rocha, Westview High School, and Riley Jenkins, UC High School. Two really, really good hitters. I'm excited to see where they go to college. I know they're going to end up in a place and really help a team, but they hit 2 monster home runs this week. I think I'm going to start giving some softball love as I continue to pay attention and see girls really doing damage like these two.
I will say that the softball love can never be given enough, but also the dominance in softball is disproportionately more dominant than any other player. Like if you have a girl who is a pitcher and a top hitter, they can have like a basketball level influence on a baseball type game. You don't see that very often of just the dynamics can so entirely shift because one person is just going just absolute beast mode. Right. And, you got to get out there and show some respect sometimes for that.
I agree.
I will jump in with my next game ball that I will pull up Bodie DeSilva and somewhat say that I lost the notes on here, but Alex Crawford out at Coronado had like 31 points last night or something big like that. Bodie, you can maybe correct me on the exact details, but Stetson commit. And I think the 1-2 punch that if he can perform like that and Wayne can perform like that, everything that I've ever said about basketball will be vindicated. Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live, your next game ball.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the pitching side. Zach Creighton from San Marcos, 7 innings, 3 hits, shutout, struck out 12 yesterday against Canyon Creston. This San Marcos offense, it seems like every game you look, they're scoring in double digits. So definitely a team to watch out for.
Dave Ring.
Very true. These are some stats that blew my mind as I was looking guys up. Morgan Strong, Ramona, and Ryan Rivera. These guys are both. So Morgan Strong has a 6.76 OBP. That means on base percentage. So if you don't know what that means in a game where he has 3 at bats, every single time he's on base 2 out of the 3 times. So this guy is a game changer. Same with Ryan Rivera. He is destroying the ball this year for Grossmont, 630 OBP. Man, that's an insane number at this time of year, and one of the key numbers that I look at as far as how players contribute to teams. You could have a high slugging percentage, but if you're getting on base at that clip, that means that you're giving yourself a chance to score runs for your team too, because you're on base all day. Pretty impressive right now. I'd be interested to see if some of these guys are at 600 to finish the year. See, I'll check in with me back at the end of the season here.
Deal.
Can
we just check in with you every week also?
Yes.
We like having you around. I will give my final game ball out finally over to baseball for Grossmont getting their second walk-off win of the season during a Prep Insider live broadcast yesterday against Eastlake. This one not coming from a walk-off grand slam. This one just coming in the 8th inning. Oh, whatever. Go ahead. Drama. Crazy. Clutch. Grossmont, I think, has continuously shown over the years that they produce players that can handle the big moments, and they've always been on the doorstep knocking because they've won, 3 of the last 5 or something like that, Division I championships. Bodie, I look to you maybe for some help in the exact numbers, but 2 or 3 of the last 5 D1 championships have been Grossmont. They could be an open division championship team this year with just the way that it looks like no one's going to be undefeated. No, everyone's going to have at least a couple of losses. That 8 seed, probably not the hardest spot to get into in the top 8. Put me on record of I want to be in there saying that they might have the clutch gene and they might be able to be.
They might have 2 of the best coaches in San Diego too, as far as the combo goes.
Oh,
Bryce Mosier and Jordan Abruzzo. Jordan's such a baseball guy, and he added Bryce in the offseason to the staff, and I think that's a humongous reason. Obviously, they got guys that hit all up and down the lineup, but the structure that Abruzzo puts into place, He's one of the top coaches in San Diego.
Is Joe Musgrove's mojo also just rubbing? Like, do you believe baseball god level type, that kind of the ghosts in the outfield? I hear Bodie laughing or just snickering.
When the Padres come to
your
your school and paint a mural.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is there
that's
just some
gotta rub off?
Like what the mural says? What meant to be?
Yes.
Maybe that means an open division championship meant to be, and has nothing to do with Joe Musgrove.
That is a good way to kind of go about your business every day. This is a year that's meant to be, right? And
should that become the school's slogan?
It's gotta be.
Should baseball just bully their way into the just like the Grossmont Foothiller mascot just has a tattoo of meant to be? I'll tell you what, next week we're coming back with meant to be t-shirts. We'll get those made up for the show.
I love it.
Bodie, I think you have one extra game ball because you were one behind us, or are you all caught up on game balls?
Yeah, I'll give out my final one to San Marcos basketball. Their game against Scripps Ranch the other night, they were up 60-5 at halftime, ended up winning 93-24. This is San Marcos team that they've been close these last few years, but I think this is the year that they make the jump. They play a bunch of guys, and as you can see, 4 guys in double digits in that win. So this is the team to look out for.
Deal. Dave, I apologize for a minute and a half worth of your life not being about high school baseball. We got to talk just a little bit of basketball. I want to preface something saying that Prep Insider has not posted a ton of top 10s this year because ultimately I think sometimes it gets taken way too seriously, and I don't need the clickbait disposition of, hey, we post weekly top 10s and all this stuff just to get the eyeballs on our content. We got plenty of people watching our show. We appreciate all the support. You guys keep listening and watching and clicking and consuming, and it's awesome. We don't need it. So I still vote in the Union Tribune top 10 poll, which is a media poll constructed of about 20 dudes who know varying degrees of high school baseball, football, basketball, and I don't pretend to be in the top 5%, but I would like to say that both Bodie and I are in the upper 50%. Bodie with Scorebook Live has decided to go ahead and post top 10s. So I'm happy to share my votes on it this week. This is not my opinion is not the official Prep Insider anything. This is Christian Pedersen's opinion. Bodie's, I think, reflects officially Scorebook Live's full endorsed opinion, but it's also just Bodie's voting. So Bodie, let's do our basketball top 10s. Let's get through that real quick, then let's talk some baseball top 10.
Yeah, so for basketball, it's a lot of how we finished last year. The top 2 so far, Cathedral Catholic, they beat Mission Hills by 2 the other night. That was a really good game. So they're now 5-0 on the season. Torrey Pines beat Mission Bay, who I have at 10th in the rankings. They're now 12-0. San Marcos, I have at 3rd. Santa Fe Christian at 4. St. Augustine at 5. Carlsbad at 6. Bonita Vista at 7. Mater Dei Catholic at 8. They had a long pause. They just got their first win last night. La Jolla Country Day at 9, and then Mission Bay at.
You mentioned the long pause for Mater Dei. I think that's interesting that we haven't had a ton of schedules completely destroyed by cancellations.
Yeah, just a handful of programs out there I've heard of, which it's unfortunate because you have some schools that have played your basketball games, and there are a couple where they're still just hoping to play their first game here in the end of this week. So it happens. We knew it was going to be part of it, and you can just kind of do your best and move ahead.
Well, Bodie, I just bring it up though to say that I think overall season 2 has been a success in terms of the rollout compared to how season 1 was very incrementally staggered and everything. A lot of baseball teams are at like close to 15 games even, and something like that.
Yeah, baseball has been really good. I know softball as well. And then for those indoor sports, they're required to do their weekly testing. So I think that's helped too. And in any of the cases where maybe there's 1 or 2 positives, hopefully you can isolate that. Maybe if it's just from the junior varsity team, freshman team, and if there's no close contacts, everyone else can continue to play.
Bodie, I think the one team that I would disagree with you in terms of the top 10 or 2 things. I would say that Coronado is a top 10 team when they are at their best. 2 of the best 1-2 punch there. I also think that in the end, San Marcos is going to potentially be the best team in the county. That's who I have as my early dark horse number 1. I will leave it at that. And I will transition into baseball so we can get David Ring back in.
Let's do it.
Let's promote that also on the other side of this top 10. We will have Dave's dingers and walk-offs before we get out of here. But Bodie, let's talk about the baseball top 10. Here is how I voted in the Union Tribune poll. Rancho Bernardo, number 1, St. Augustine, number 2, Grossmont, number 3, LCC, number 4, Eastlake, number 5, San Marcos, number 6, Torrey Pines, number 7, Granite Hills, number 8, El Camino, number 9, Point Loma, number 10. I have seen in person half of those teams and do not pretend to be an authority yet again on high school baseball. I'm still dusting off the rust. There was some transitional football stuff. Bodie and Dave, you guys both know significantly more about it than I do. So, Bodie, let's go with what you guys ended up posting for your top 10 or what you voted as for your personal top 10, however you would like to go about it.
Yeah, so Rancho Bernardo, number 1, we just talked about their first loss of the season yesterday. And then number 2, I had La Costa Canyon. So that worked out pretty well with them next to each other. And just because they won one game doesn't mean they jump them for the rest of the season. They'll still be competitive. And La Costa already did have 3 losses coming in. So I've got Grossmont at number 3. I've got Eastlake at 4. Sage, I went and at number 5. They did lose yesterday, but coming in, they've had the toughest schedule in San Diego so far, so I've been really impressed with that. Number 6, I had St. Augustine, 7, San Marcos, 8, Torrey Pines, 9, Granite Hills, and 10, El Camino.
Dave, do you have a top 10 put together, or do you just have some teams you want to highlight in there?
It's a very accurate depiction so far this year. I'd say a couple teams that are on my radar. La Jolla Country Day, it's got some studs. Christian has shown they've got a number 1 pitcher in Braden Ross that can pitch against anyone. El Camino, I mean, I know we don't talk about them much. They play out east, but they're a really solid team. The surprises this year, Torrey Pines, winning more than I thought they were with a couple injuries. They lost one of their best pitchers, but they are still playing strong. San Marcos, I'll talk about a game that they had the other day where they walked off. They are stacked. And when it comes down to it, you know, for me, the top 5 teams are going to really narrow down in the next kind of 2 weeks when we start to see the pitching get a little tired. We start to see the season kind of progress. But
so have we moved to cutting day at the Masters? Is there moving day at the Masters?
Some of these teams that are, you know, on the fringe are going to start either, you know, taking it to the house or like a Torrey Pines. I'm really interested to see how, since they lost one of their pitchers, how well they're going to do to finish the year if they can scrap out some wins, similar to kind of the Padres right now. Like, you know, the opposite side, you know, the Padres are not hitting well, but they're pitching fine. So it's, you know, they're not getting a ton of wins as a result of that. But yeah, well done on the top 10, Bodie. I like where you're at.
All righty, Dave's dingers. Are they ready? Are they here? Can you bring them?
As long as you got your buttons ready to push.
Nope. Wait, hold on. No. That's on me. I meant to do that.
It's out of here.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
Okay, let's do this. I wanted to lead off with a pretty big moment for a local guy, Mickey Moniak, La Costa Canyon first pick out of 2016. Has really, I think, solidified his swing the last couple of years, and he hit his first dinger in a day game yesterday, which is, I mean, it's incredible to see a guy that, you know, I'll see at the facility every once in a while hitting, and in the lineup, it's him in center field, Bryce Harper in right field, and Andrew McCutcheon in left field. And, you know, pretty impressive outfield / congrats to Mickey. And I'm really happy for him. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, really, coming into the facility. So I wanted to get him some love. Kian Vu, leadoff dinger against Helix, and then hit another dinger. His total is now up to 6 home runs.
It's out of here. 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 It's out of here.
And that ties him for third place in San Diego.
Dude, the fact that you just picked up on that by locking eyes with me and just rolled with that, excellent job right there. 10 out of 10 on the radio scale. Let's go. Next one.
Isaiah Gomez. I got to give this guy some love. He's at Grossmont. He's got 6 big flies for the year. You know what that means? He's tied with Kian Vu, and this is where it really gets interesting. Like, the leader in San Diego's got 8. Marcelo's got 7. We might see a bunch of guys with 10 home runs this year. I'm excited to watch the rest of this race here. Catcher Jake Entrenken, I hope I pronounced that right, for Steel Canyon. He's got 4 home runs. This guy is a beast behind the plate. You know, I know we're talking about dingers, but I've seen this guy throw out multiple guys, and not just throw guys out, like literally throw them out and then do a throw out walk-off. So, you know, we have the walk-off, you know, hit that, you know, you walk off the field. He throws a ball to second base and then runs to the dugout before the guy even gets thrown out practically.
I only have home run out sounds. I don't have
like
an
a
out
laser
sound.
beam sound. Right?
Okay, deal.
He throws laser beams. All right, Garrett Erickson, 3-run homer as Westview beat Del Norte 10-1. Xavier Franco was 4 for 4 against Bonita Vista. He had 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. Quite the week for guys with 2 home runs. Last week it was the Grand Slam week. This week, multiple home run games for 2 guys. Very impressive. And I've got 2 walk-offs whenever you want to do that.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
All right. Aiden Perez. This game was yesterday. Aiden Perez, Helix, walk-off 3-run homer versus Point Loma. I think this puts kind of Helix on the map a little bit. They've lost some tough games, but they definitely have beat some good teams. And the last walk-off game ball goes to Zach Farrell, San Marcos, walk-off dinger. Same thing with him. Very cool bat flip. Celebration at home was epic. This is what I live for, watching videos like this and getting a chance to post students that either have come across in my day or just all around good guys.
Yo, no, I'm so down for the fact that just technology has come to the place where we can celebrate it like this at the high school level.
Right.
Because nobody's really done this before, where it's just a swaggy, just home runs, dingers account of just high school clips for the baseball scene in San Diego.
I'll post a double and triple every once in a while because it's a good swing, but
you'll always need to post a triple.
Exactly.
You'll always need to post a triple because that's fast out the box.
But it is hard to hit a home run, and I don't think people understand that. I just don't post home runs because of that.
Yeah, it is very difficult,
it's
especially
cool.
with how quality high school pitching has become.
Exactly.
That's all the walk-offs for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, Bodie, I wanted to just see anything else you need to get to high school sports related this week before we get to our game picks.
I don't think so. I'm going to get out to 2 more games today, another baseball and softball. So looking forward to the first softball game of the season.
I wanted to just bring up a couple of teams who I think are doing kind of well that are like not in that top 10 conversation, but just deserve a little bit of love here and there. Mar Vista has had a pretty successful start to the season. They are like 8-4, 8-5, something like that. The Mariners, they win close games is why I think I want to shout them out. They win a lot of 6-5 type vibe games. The Morris Tigers have had a couple of big games this season where they've come out with some wins. They are also, I think they're 8-5 also. Let's see. Yeah, 8-5. High Tech Chula Vista at 5-3, I think is catching a little bit of fire later in the season. I'm trying to look through some of my notes. Just wanted to give a couple of shout outs. That was everybody for that. So let's go ahead and get to some game predictions for what we got coming up this week. Let's go ahead and flash to Saturday, where we have a rematch of Eastlake Grossmont. Dave, let's start with you.
Gosh, this is a tough one. I do think that Grossmont is going to edge out this game. I love what Eastlake's doing over there, but I got to roll with Grossmont right now. It's meant to be.
Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live, your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is going to be the 3rd time they've played in about 2.5 weeks. Grossmont's won the first 2 on walk-offs. I'm going to take Eastlake here. I think I don't think there's a huge difference between these teams this year, and there comes a point where I think Eastlake will get lucky and one of them have something break their way. So I like Eastlake here.
Also on Saturday, we have La Jolla versus Christian. Bodie DeSilva, let's stay with you.
Yeah, I think this is a really good game. I'm going to go with Christian. Dave brought up earlier, Braden Ross is a really good player here in San Diego. May not get as much coverage because Christian's not in the top 10 at this point, but Christian.
Hey, no. He was on our show this week. He was a featured interview that we did this week. He's getting coverage.
Very true. Yeah, he's a really interesting two-way guy. Lefty bat, righty pitcher. I posted a home run he hit earlier in the season. Like you said, man, can control the whole game, and it's not a lot you come across guys that can really control the ball on both sides. He might as well play shortstop when he's pitching too, because just win Gold Gloves.
Why not? Yeah,
right?
Why not? So does it mean you're going with Christian
Yes,
for the win there?
100%.
On Monday, April 26th, we've got Santana and Canyon Crest Academy. Dave Ring. Who do you like here?
Ooh.
Santana having a pretty solid 9-4 start to the season.
Right.
CCA plays definitely tough talent. I have picked Santana.
I'll go with Santana too. I mean, the CCA, like you said, they're always strong. I think they've lost a little bit from the past couple seasons as far as bats and pitching arms, but let's try Santana this week. See if I can get a pick right.
Let's try a little Santana. Bodie, who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Santana as well. They've played a really good schedule. They split with Eastlake. They held them to one run in their win, which is really impressive. They beat Torrey Pines. They beat Cathedral. They've beaten Madison. So I think Santana is a team that's really close to breaking through the top 10.
Next Wednesday, April 28th, is a while away, but LCC and Sage Creek are going to play. And I just wanted to be on the record about that game because I think that I have been all in on the swagginess of Sage Creek, and I'm fine picking that as an upset.
The Bro Showdown.
Yeah, the Bro Down.
The Bro.
It's going to be
well, unfortunately, I went with Sage Creek against RB, and that didn't go so well. RB handed them a 14-4 loss, so I'm not going to go with Sage Creek this time.
The mojo has run out for you personally.
But I love what they are doing over there.
Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live, your final game prediction for the week, please.
Yeah, the way Lacoste is playing right now, it's really.
You're no fun, Bodie. You're no fun.
Seeing them in person, I'm not gonna get on the bad side. They're rolling.
Bodie, what else can people read on Scorebook Live this week?
Yeah, so we're doing some lists, kind of stuff to finish up the football season of top positional players throughout the state, and then some game coverage. Obviously was out at La Costa Canyon and Rancho Bernardo yesterday, and then today plan is to get out to Mount Miguel and Morse baseball, and then finishing up with Helix and Torrey softball.
Look at that. I was saying a little something about Morse being a team you need to check out. Bodie's already going there. Looks like I might have stolen his idea, as always. Folks, we really appreciate you guys checking in. Dave, anything else? Are we good? You get everything covered?
We're good. Look for more dingers on my Instagram.
DR Player Development.
Correct.
On the Instagram. Are you past 30,000 yet?
I'm almost there. 28.
All right, let's make Dave to 30. Our personal Dogecoin. I
love it.
As our intern comes to say hi at the very end. That's usually a sign once there's close to blood being drawn that it's time to call
Not
it for the show.
As many yaps in the background.
Oh,
today.
she ate that beef stick the whole time. It was a really good dog.
If you guys want to know, the dog for the last 3 weeks is getting enormous. It's a puppy, and
she's 26 pounds now. Look at her. It's so big.
The dog is enormous now.
This is our intern for everyone that hears her during the show, and for the 3 people that are still watching, we appreciate it. Talk to you guys next week, Sports.